I'm Tony Evers.
I'm Mahlon Mitchell.
I'm Mike McCabe.
I'm Paul Soglin.
I'm Kathleen Vinehout.
I'm Josh Pade.
I'm Matt Flynn.
I'm Kelda Roys, and I'm running for governor to restore opportunity and fairness to Wisconsin.
I'm running for governor because Wisconsin needs leadership in the governor's office.
I want to put people first.
I believe it's time that we bring new leadership and a fresh vision to the state of Wisconsin.
I'm running for governor because I'm not going to stand by and watch our democracy destroyed.
We need a change in our state. We've given Scott Walker 8 years to divide and conquer our state, and he has done that.
And I'm running for governor because I believe what's best for the kids in our state, it's also best for our economy and our democracy.
Well, we've got to have a government that works for all of us and not just a privileged few, and that's why I'm running.
I've had 22 years as mayor of the city of Madison and done a pretty good job at it.
When I was in the state assembly, I learned about BPA, which is a toxic chemical that was commonly found in baby bottles and sippy cups and kids' products. By reaching across the aisle, we were able to make Wisconsin one of the first states in the nation to ban BPA. We were a leader in protecting children's health, protecting the environment, and consumer protection. And I want Wisconsin to be a leader again.
Well, being a firefighter, we help those in need. We respond to our community a lot of times on the worst days of their lives. And when people are at their worst, we have to be at our best. And that's what we should expect from our state government. That's what we should expect from elected officials.
I've written 4 alternatives to the governor's budget because I believe we can balance the budget, put people first, and use the same amount of money that's in the budget now, but rearrange our priorities.
My life's work has been about exposing big money influence in politics and corruption in our government, and I want to bring that spirit not only to the race for governor, but to the governor's office itself.
I grew up middle class in Kenosha and lost my father when I was young, and my family moved to central Wisconsin. I took the opportunity to work in the private sector. I worked for a family company, lived all over the state of Wisconsin.
My entire life experience, probably the one that most encapsulates it, is my service in the U.S. Navy. I was a operations officer on the ship. I look on everybody in the state as my shipmate, and when I'm governor, I will unify the state.
So me serving as state superintendent has been a good way for me to kind of analyze what the state's role is and to make sure that the state takes a proactive, positive role in the lives of our children.
There are a couple of things that distinguish me from my opponents. Number one is military service. I'm the only veteran in this race. Number two is I was the chairman of the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, so I'm well acquainted with the state and with the party, and I'm able to bring the party together and unify it. And then there are a number of issues. The most obvious one is Foxconn. I am the only candidate in the race who has said that we can terminate the Foxconn contract.
I have a very different life story. My father was a union laborer. He dug ditches for a living. He thought that college would be wasted on a girl, so he didn't sign my financial aid papers. I put myself through college, which is why I so believe in free tuition for 2-year and tech colleges.
But in addition, I've actually run things and across the state, and whether it's school districts or schools or regional agencies, the ability of me to start on day one to make sure that our services are offered and that we have the right values and that we're honoring what our goal is to make sure that kids learn, to make sure that we have good health care, to make sure that we protect our natural resources, frankly, to make sure that we fill potholes on our roads.
I'm an attorney by training. I am a former state legislative leader. I have a lot of experience passing bipartisan legislation, but I'm also a small business owner. And so I know how we can revitalize our economy and make sure that it will work for everyone.
My experience of knowing how to run a business and knowing about policy and how they interact gives me a unique approach to tackling big issues, but also bringing people together. People, whether it's a business owner, a worker, a laborer, environmental activist, we all have a role to play, and if we bring people together, we can get things done.
I've spent most of my adult life as an independent watchdog, working to shine light on the transactions between wealthy donors and elected officials. So I understand really well how our government has been commandeered by those wealthy interests.
I've spent the balance of my life helping others and responding to my community, but also being a lieutenant at Station 1 in Madison, also being the president of the Firefighters Statewide Association.
Managed organizations, taking responsibility for thousands of employees. That's had the effect on the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. And I've had to create and manage operating and capital budgets, both well over $300 million. None of the other candidates have that kind of experience.
I don't have to imagine what it's like to beat a popular Republican incumbent. I have done it. I have won in a district 3 times that Scott Walker has won in, that Trump won in.
Wisconsin is changed. We are not living up to the values that we grew up with, that has gone back for centuries. So the best person to go against Scott Walker is someone that is going to bring those type of ideas back to Wisconsin politics. And that's why I'm the best person to do that.
I feel so hopeful and optimistic. I think people are tired of the negativity and division of the last 8 years. We are ready to move forward and just turn the page. This election is about change and the future that we're going to build together for our children. And I think there's no stronger contrast to the way we've been going than me.
Well, first of all, I've run 3 statewide races. Last time I ran, I won 70% of the vote in 70 of 72 counties. And so the people of the state know me.
What sets me apart is the fact that I'm the only candidate who is taking on money power and trying to challenge that money power and overcome it with people power.
In October, there will be one candidate on the stage with Scott Walker, under the lights, with a large audience. And you can't harness all of the abilities of all 8.
I'm the one candidate who, before announcing that I was going to run for this office, took the time and the responsibility of finding out whether or not I could beat Scott Walker. We invested very heavily in a poll. That poll showed conclusively that I can defeat Scott Walker throughout the state of Wisconsin.
We've built a coalition of folks, and we have a wide range of endorsements, from Congresswoman Gwen Moore to the operating engineers who endorsed Walker last time. And that's what it's going to take in order to actually beat Scott Walker in November.